Would you believe my neighbors have the nerve to have their contractors with a ladder in my driveway, doing their roof with nails everywhere without my permission, without my husband's permission? Didn't say anything, didn't ask anything. No, yep. They've been out there for hours. I had nowhere to park. Yep. I digress. That is not what we are here for. We are here to talk about two more things that get in the way of our goals. The things that get our goals sailing down to nowhere. And I want to talk to you about two sides to the same coin. But first, I must say, there's nothing to fear but fear itself. I know that was an awful imitation, but you get it. Today, I'm talking about fear. Fear of failure, and on the opposite side of that, fear of success. How could fear of failure and fear of success destroy your goals? Let's break that down. Fear of failure. One of the things I always say to people is that a kid that thinks they're going to fail a test is not going to study. If you have already believed or thought that you are not going to accomplish your goal, guess what? You're not going to give it your all. You're not going to push through. You're not going to do what you have to do because you really don't believe that you can make it happen. If you think you can or you think you can't, it's true. We've all heard that a million times. But there's truth to it because your thoughts predict your actions. And, the way you maneuver and do things in life is based off of what you believe. If the story you tell yourself is that you're going to fail, then you're not going to try. But what if you give it a shot? There's a possibility that you may fall, you may stumble. You're going to have to pick yourself up and dust yourself off, and you may have some failure in there. But I look at some failures as temporary. This is how I see failures, and maybe this is a way that you can reframe it for yourself. You fail. Okay, what happens? Temporary failure means you've hit a roadblock, stumbling block, you messed up, you slipped up, you jacked it all up. That's temporary. If you decide not to get back up and try, I think there's a song, Dust Yourself Off and Try Again. If first you don't succeed, try and try again. All those wonderful sayings that try to tell us, don't give up. Don't give in. You can do it. You can win. But if you fall while trying to accomplish a big goal, or if you have a setback, a fall down, whatever the case may be, you can stay there. You can lay right there and do nothing. And guess what's going to happen? A whole bunch of nothing. That's what's going to happen if you lay there and do nothing. That's what failure is your ability or decision making to allow you to try. But those temporary failures can teach you something. There is something to be learned from every mistake, every failure, flaw, setback. And when I say failure, I am talking about the temporary failures, the things that make you just not try. Like I think I mentioned in one of my videos about trying 75 hard. No, not now doesn't mean no, not ever. So I don't look at that as a failure. I'm choosing not to do it right now, but I can do it. And if I decide that that's something I want for myself, I can get back in the game. It's when you sit on the sideline and decide not to play anymore is when the failure comes in. But what if you try this thing, you try to set this goal and you're going down the road and you're doing all the things and you hit some roadblocks? What if you mess up? What if you slip up? What if your goal is to pay off debt, but you just went to the casino and spent a whole bunch of money? Do you look at that as an opportunity to learn, to grow, to evolve into something, to make it better, build your mental muscle, and give you an opportunity to do it better next time? I manage a team at work, and in my job, my day job, I see 100% of what goes wrong. And when I do, I have to tell people, hey, you messed this up. Hey, you made a mistake. And a lot of people have a hard time with that. And sometimes it is hard to be that person who has to tell people that they made mistakes. And I think that they look at it as defeatist. But if you work in a department where everything that you come across are the things that didn't work out, that's my view. That's where I see it. But when I have to tell my team, hey, what did you do here? Or you made this mistake, or, you did this wrong. I tell them, I try to make a mistake at least once a day because I learned something from it. And you learn when you make mistakes or you feel like those temporary failures happen, you can really look at that and learn from it. And 9 times out of 10, you don't repeat the process unless you're one of those people who like to take their head and poof up against the wall and poof up against the wall. If you like that and that's your thing, then maybe, you keep banging your head up against the wall, and that is something that you're going to have to look at from a different perspective and try to find the why behind that. But when you're in a situation where you make a mistake, or you slipped, or you slided, or you rolled down the hill of things that you weren't supposed to do, you get at the bottom of that hill and you look up. There's a lot of things that happened along the way that you can learn something from. So if you have fear of failure, that is a way that you can use failure to your advantage, temporary failure. And this is the failure that I'm talking about when you're planning on getting back up and getting back in the game. Dare greatly, get up in there. Another thing about fear of failure is it can paralyze you. It can make you not want to do anything just because of the idea of you fail. What can happen if you fail? Let's look at weight loss, because weight loss is one of those other things that women struggle with. You look at weight loss, and I'm sorry if you can hear the noise out there. Hopefully, they said 2 hours ago, and they're still out there. Let's say you're going to lose weight and you want to lose 50 pounds. Well, if you've tried dieting most of your life, you may have told people you were going to do it. And you slipped, slided, and your diet went to crap. I used to do that. I used to tell people, oh, I'm going on Weight Watchers. Oh, I'm going to do this. Oh, I'm going to do LA weight loss. Oh, I'm going to do Slim Fast Shakes. All the things. And after a while, I'm like, don't you want to stop telling people that? Because you're going to look foolish the next time you don't follow through. So how did I get from the mindset of, yeah, I'm going to try this new diet, I'm going to try this new workout plan and all this, to the point where I stayed quiet and didn't say anything, because already in my mind, I didn't think that I was going to follow through, and had already set myself up for failure because I had already had my mind there that I wasn't going to say it again. Because if I say it again and it didn't do the thing, then people are going to look at me and be like, there she goes again. Here she goes again with this crap. And then she doesn't follow through. Yeah. So then we stay quiet and we keep it to ourselves. We don't put it out there in the universe. We don't put it out there. How do you beat that? How do you beat that mindset? I know for me that a tribe of supportive people is important, or like-minded. One of the things I love about being a new YouTuber is that I have met other people who do content on YouTube. I've met other people who have the same fears and worries and trying to be creative and put out something that people are that's worth watching. But they can help you hold yourself accountable. Everybody needs an accountability partner. You need someone of like-mindedness to say, hey, what are you doing? How's it going? Someone you can check in with. That helps combat the fear of failure. Having someone help you hold your feet to the fire or keep your promise to yourself. It's the same thing with budgeting, with weight loss, anything that you're trying to do. Find someone else to talk to about it, because the stories you tell yourself sometimes could just be straight up crap. And it could be mean, and it can be nasty, and it can be defeating, and you will beat yourself up like nobody's business. You don't need anybody else to beat you up because you'll do it yourself. I'm saying this as a segue to tell you the next part. Learn to give yourself grace. Hence the name of this channel, and me asking you to like, subscribe, and comment. I'm just throwing that in there. Looking out for me. Help a sister out because I'm trying to grow my channel. back to the topic at hand, you need to be kind to yourself. The same way that you would encourage someone else, you need to encourage yourself. The same kindness, the same grace, the same understanding that you would give somebody else trying to do something, you need to look at you and do it. And if you can't just say it out in the air, go find a mirror, look at you and say it. Call yourself crazy all you want to. But the things that you say to yourself matters. And one of the reasons that people do give up on things is because we beat ourselves up. And who likes to get beat up? And if you know that you're going to beat yourself up when things go wrong, then how likely are you going to keep trying to do the same thing for fear that you're going to get back to that place? Give yourself grace. I've said it in my other videos in regards to this goals topic. Break things down to small pieces and don't have such huge expectations. Don't put so much pressure on yourself. I'm not saying to just say, okay, I'm going to save $50,000 and you put away $1 a week. I'm not saying that. I'm saying give yourself grace. Set yourself up for realistic goals. Track your progress because you can see where you were to where you are. I mentioned to you guys in one of the videos that I'm doing Zepbound and it's been over a month. I may not see my weight loss. Maybe, other people may mention it, but sometimes I think people are just being nice because that's what the story I tell myself, that if someone's giving you praise, it's because they're just being nice. But if you take pictures and then you look at yourself, you can see the progression. So you need to track your progress. You need to look from where you started to where you are, and you need to celebrate that. You need to reward yourselves with praise, with a pat on the back, because we really struggle with celebrating ourselves. That helps with the fear of failure, because if you look at failure as an opportunity to learn and to grow, you may be looking forward to a little bit of failure, because everything that you know now has gotten to where you are. But everything that you need to get you to where you want to be in life, you have yet to learn. And yes, I made that up myself, and I tell my family that all the time. Everything you know has gotten you to here. Everything that you need to know, you still have yet to learn. Keep learning, keep growing, keep evolving. So I'm going to get to the other side of this coin. Fear of success. What the heck? Why would anybody be fearful of success? I had to ponder this and think about it, because when I used to hear it, I'm like, who the hell's fear of success? Why would anybody be afraid to do well? Why would that happen? Let's get back to weight loss. Why would a woman be afraid of success when it comes to weight loss? I can tell you. Oh yeah, I can tell you. Because the weight loss part, the challenge, the excitement, watching a scale go down, people seeing your progress, or you getting into smaller clothes, that is exciting. It is exciting. It is motivating. That fleeting feeling that I talk about in the other video. Motivating, inspiring. It makes you keep going, right? It's the win. What do you do when you're done winning? Now you have to sustain it. You have to sustain the win. What's the fear that happens when you succeed? Going backwards, putting the weight back on, failing, not showing up for the way that you were showing up for, when you were in the process of fighting for that goal. That's huge. Same thing with YouTube. I'm new to YouTube, like I said. And I looked to see how many subscribers I have now versus when I first started. I think I had 2 from 25 years ago up to current. I've gotten a lot more subscribers. I'm doing well. How could somebody who's doing YouTube videos and connecting and conversating and talking about things with women and people regarding adulting and evolving and connection, how could I be afraid of success? Well, what if I have a really successful video? Let's say that. And it goes viral, as they say. And my channel does really good. Well, what if my next video only gets 50 views after that, or 25 views? But I had this viral video. Well, the fear in the success is trying to keep up with what you've done. Because if you fail, everybody gets to watch. You let yourself down. Most people that I know who have lost a large amount of weight has gained some of it back. But you get this mindset, whether it's a diet or saving money or anything, anything that you're excited about to achieve, any goal that you're excited to achieve, you get to that place where you're doing the damn thing, you're doing it. What happens on the other end when you're not doing it anymore and you're taking your foot off the gas? What if I succeed and the expectation is that I'm always going to do great? Now I have to be perfect. What if I pay off debt? I pay off all my debt and I'm debt free. Then I have to be afraid of that. The fear of that success is, what if I get back into debt? What if I gain my weight back? What if? We will what if ourselves to death, and those voices can shut you down. Can shut you down. Fear of failure and fear of success. Two sides to the same coin. But they both can be combated. Fear is false evidence appearing real. I say it all the time. I think I heard it in coaching school years ago, or someone said it, somebody with some sense said it. And the truth of the matter is, fear is false evidence appearing real. It's false. You need to focus on your reality, what is, what you know for sure. And you work off that. And it's okay. We're human. We're human. We're going to evolve, but evolve with grace. This is why I named my channel that, because I'm evolving with grace. I started this out because my girls are older now. I'm older now. I'm 50 and I have 3 adult daughters. I have more time for me. I have time to follow the things that I want for myself. And even if I get on YouTube and I do these videos and nobody subscribes and my channel doesn't grow, it is still for me. I'm still getting the opportunity to connect, to reach one person. I see lots of people who subscribe, who watch my videos and don't subscribe. Thousands of views I get, and people don't subscribe. Now, maybe that's not their thing. I know I watch reels and I watch people do things on Instagram, and I don't comment on them all and I don't like them all, but I do enjoy them, but I don't say anything. But that's not a metrics of my success. And I can't be afraid of not getting the views or not getting the subscribers, just as much as I can't fear being successful. We're all human. This is an experiment, guys. We are an experiment. I remember my mother saying the first child was a science experiment. Life is an experiment. You learn something from it. You create things from it. You grow from it. You get mad. You get glad. You get sad. This is life. It evolves. And this is what we're going to do. Thank you for watching. And I really hope you don't hear a bunch of the noise outside. And I do love the fact that you guys are going on this crazy journey with me. And as much as I try to be very stoic and serious, I really want you to know who I am. The real me. The unfiltered version of me. Yes, I'm a life coach, but before that, I'm another human having a human experience, connecting with other humans so that we can do this adulting thing together. Thank you guys for watching. Have an amazing day, and I will talk to you again. Bye.